it's time to introduce our captain of the match, Staff Sergeant Campbell, a Sacramento native. Sergeant Campbell has been with the U.S. Army for 13 years and was a Cav Scout deployed to Iraq and Syria before becoming a recruiter. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our captain of the match, Staff Sergeant Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Staff Sergeant Campbell, you got your family down here. Let's drop that ball in the stand. Yes, he's a pro. Get up and thank you for your service. Big round of applause. Staff Sergeant Campbell, our captain of the match here tonight. That horn means we are 5 minutes to kick off. It's time to get moving to your seats. Presented by Motherload Van and Storage. 5 minutes to kick off. And fans, we're down here on the field. It's time to introduce you to our high five squad. There they are. They get to high five the players as they make their way onto the pitch tonight. One of the coolest things you can do here at Hard Park to get us ready for kickoff. You can be a part of it in a future match by going to sacramentofc.com/groups, and you may have as much fun as those kids were just having it down here on the pitch. As you know, here at Hard Park, during the starting laps, when we say the first name, we need you, the fans, to yell the last name to get us ready here for starting laps that are coming up here in just a few short minutes. We're going to get you ready with Lee Desmond. So when I say Lee, we need everybody here at Hard Park to look up at the video board, look at that last name, and yell it, and yell Desmond. All right, here we go. Defender number 4, Lee! Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We need you for the energy here at Hard Park. And of course, if the opposing team, Monterey Bay, is wasting time tonight, you are going to hear this sound. That means they are milking the clock, presented by Crystal Creamery. And we need you to move them and hurry them up onto the pitch. So when you hear that sound,
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotel and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the USL. Well, summer in full swing, and the Republic are as hot as ever on the pitch. An emphatic road win has the Indomitable Club continuing to climb the Western table. Tonight, A Northern California rival seeks to turn the tide and secure a statement road win of its own. It's Sacramento hosting Monterey Bay, and it's brought to you by Western Health Advantage. We welcome you pitch side. I'm Ron McAllister, and filling in for Adam Moffitt tonight is former Republic, how about not a Republic?
Well,
U.S. men's national team member.
I know you wanted me here. It's never happened, never materialized.
Jimmy Conrad, everybody, happy to have you here. But this is a Republic team looking to get to 30 points, a second team to do that in the West. But it's not going to come easy tonight against this Monterey Bay side.
It's not, and from a Sac Republic perspective, I feel like it's a trap game. And I say that because they're arguably the hottest team in all of USL, unbeaten in their last 5, absolutely cruising up the standings. But you're taking on a Monterey Bay team, 1 win in their last 8. They had the lead on Wednesday, they blew it. I just don't know where they are as a team, so that makes them a little bit dangerous.
And let's take a look at Sacramento's run as of late. In these last 5 games, they have been brilliant, defensively good as ever. The only goal allowed was in San Antonio, one of the toughest places to play in the league. What has made them so good?
Well, I think there's some consistency that needs to be talked about with regard to the lineup. They don't make too many changes, especially in that back line. They're so sound. Danny Vitiello, reigning player of the month, making the key saves, the timely saves, which has been very important. And then they're just taking their chances. Teams create a lot of opportunities, but if you finish them, that's what separates the great from the good.
Well, Monterey Bay off to a hot start in the season. They're trying to turn it around and remain in the playoff picture. It's Sacramento, it's Monterey Bay, and it's coming up next.
SMUD's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands have joined the charge. They're taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with SMUD rebates. Together, we're creating clean power cities, while SMUD keeps our promise to deliver world-class safety, reliability, and some of the lowest rates in California. The Clean Power City movement is changing the world, one charge at a time. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Have you ever heard a person who is seriously injured say, "Oh yeah, baby, I just hit the jackpot"? Of course not. They retain an experienced law firm and get immediate medical care with a goal of maximum medical recovery as quickly as possible. It's at the end of the medical journey when compensation is determined, not a slot machine approach at the beginning. That's the gold standard offered by Ashton & Price, serious representation for serious people who have been seriously injured. And there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
If we can bring new life into the world, why can't we bring new hope to those who need it most? If we can remove cancer, why can't we remove hunger? If we can rebuild bodies, why can't we rebuild entire communities? Better health takes more than healthcare. UC Davis Health. Believe in better.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
For 12 years we've been met with hurdle after hurdle, bump after bump. But one thing anyone who has spent any time in the city knows, if one path gets cut off, we find another or create another.
All those in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage, insurance plans that balance value and coverage. UC Davis Health, believe in better. And by Sky River Casino, the premier casino in Elk Grove. Starting 11s, kickoff coming up next.
at Sky River Casino. Catch all the action with rewards that add up and up. Experience new heights. With 18 restaurants, bars, and lounges, there's something for everyone. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines in our thrilling high-limit room. Savor the win. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Join today at skyriver.com.
If we can bring new life into the world, why can't we bring new hope to those who need it most? If we can remove cancer, why can't we remove hunger? If we can rebuild bodies, why can't we rebuild entire communities? Better health takes more than healthcare. UC Davis Health. Believe in better.
How do you build a community that thrives? By staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012. Because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery. Simple, local, fresh.
Let's go.
Take a look at our team in law firm starting 11. Only one change for Sacramento from a week ago. Of course, Vidiello, Desmond, Kleeman, Timmer, and then Benitez. Lopez, Rodrigo getting the start tonight in place for Blake Willie. 1 goal, 3 assists on the season. Nick Ross, Jacker on the wing, and then Russell Cicerone, Pirano, and Seba up top. Let's take a look at Monterey Bay. Couple of changes from Wednesday. We'll see Luke Ivanovic and Mile Malongo along with a veteran here, and Moby Fair has been with the club since 2022. Campazzuno, Gordon, Giardi, Lara, and Garcia along the back. Their head coach, Jordan Stewart. Looks like they may go with a 4-1-4-1 here, and you look at this Monterey Bay team, they've struggled as of late, just one win nearly the last 10 games here. Looking to turn it around here on a very hot night in Sacramento. Republic in red, Monterey Bay in the Chris and Kelp, and they will elect to go to the south end of the field first. Before we get going here, Danny Vidiello, USL Player of the Month. He's been brilliant as ever, Jimmy.
He's been fantastic. We could argue he's just continuing to get better and better. 29 years old, 4th season here with Sac Republic. 3 clean sheets in July. And I think more importantly than that, it's just the timeliness of the saves. That really speaks to a goalkeeper that knows when it's time to make the big play, and he's been doing that consistently.
Meanwhile, look at Luke Ivanovic, 4 goals and assists, 27 shots leading Monterey Bay here in 2025. They got off to a brilliant start. They're going to try to see if they can turn around, stay in the hunt right now. They're flirting around with Lexington in that 8-9 spot. So this will be a big one. There's the kick, and here we go from Heart Health Park. Rob McAllister, Jimmy Conrad here in the booth tonight on a warm evening in Sacramento. Early on, Sacramento looking to get into the attack, and Russell Cicerone goes to ground. And a whistle comes in by our referee here tonight, Elvis Osmanovic, and it will be a goal kick. Nope, set be here. So you look at this team for Monterey Bay. What has gone wrong as of late? In transition, we've seen them very good. They're able to find goals, but it seems like the consistency just really hasn't been there as of late.
Yeah, I think attacking-wise, they're pretty dynamic, Rob. We saw them against Tulsa midweek where they found themselves in good spots. Hit Tulsa, a very good team, Tulsa, who won tonight as well, to really create some dangerous chances. It's defensively where Monterey struggles. Their team shape, their desire to make plays, their spacing between the lines, it's just not good enough for them to be one of the top teams in the USL at this particular moment.
Rodrigo Lopez spraying it out wide to Benitez. 1 goal, 2 assists on the year. And there's a cross-looking ball. Good. An opportunity. And Nico Campazzuno with 3 shutouts on the year. You talked about defensively, one of the fewest in the league in terms of they've allowed 24 goals in 18 appearances with Campazzuno in between the sticks. And here comes Lee Desmond taking a big gamble. Meanwhile, here comes Monterey Bay.
Yeah, good opportunity here. Get the ball out to Ivanovic, who had an assist against Tulsa right after halftime when they scored 2 goals in 10 minutes and then let the game get away from them. But they've got some talent going forward.
Out to Ivanovic again, the Australian. Go to his left foot, curling ball. It'll sail out of play. A goal kick for Danny Vidiello. And Vidiello, .76 goal against, just 13 goals in 17 appearances, 7 shutouts. I mean, this is a man who's done it in Pittsburgh. He's come to Sacramento. And this Sacramento team allowing less than a goal per game, best in the USL Championship. Meanwhile, Monterey Bay, about 1.5 goals. And you talked about it in this game tonight. How do they get their counterattack going? How do they get numbers forward and really put pressure on Sacramento like they're doing right now?
Yeah, it's interesting where they're going to set up. Sacramento didn't have a game midweek. Monterey Bay did. Monterey does have to go to El Paso on the weekend, so they have to be really thoughtful about how they're expending their energy.
Pirano flying forward, comes to Herrera. It's broken up, and this will be a delayed whistle and a booking early against Monterey Bay, and the crowd loves it.
Yeah, the crowd should love it. Anytime you get a yellow card to a significant member of the back line, that just makes them play on eggshells a little bit for the rest of the game, so that's a good thing for Sacramento. Looks like it went to number 4, Alex Lara, who has a bunch of experience, so he should know better, all things considered. But one thing I'll note from a Monterey Bay perspective, if you have your defenders having to make heroic tackles, your spacing's off. And so they need to figure out how to get that figured out, not only in this game, in this moment, but just for the season if they want to get something out of this. But yeah, it's a great opportunity here for Sacramento to get on the board. And I love me some Roro Lopez, so I hope that he takes it.
Well, you've been here for some magic, including the Open Cup against Sporting KC a few years ago. The legend here has created some of the best memories in sports history in this town. As Neil Collins looks on his first year, see what Rodrigo Lopez can do. Getting the start this evening. They've managed his minutes at 38 years of age. They want to keep him healthy for the stretch run. He's got to look here, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is within his ability. We've seen it time and time over the years. I don't want him to pass. Shoot, Roro. We're all demanding you to shoot from this distance. See if he can make it happen.
Crowd stomping their feet, movement from Timmer and Seba. Roro will go for goal. Roro nearly puts it through. You got your wish. And another banger from Lopez. Unfortunately, couldn't find frame.
Yeah, it was good distance, good weight on it, right? I think he would have had the goalkeeper beat had it gone up and down over the wall. We'll get a good look at it here. Just unfortunate. That probably missed by half a foot. I couldn't even do that ever at any point in my career, so I'm definitely jealous of the ability of Roro Lopez.
Well, you played, what, 13 years MLS, U.S. men's national team member.
Yeah, listen,
how is
listen,
someone
Rob,
like,
listen. My talent was commitment. My talent wasn't what Roro's got. That's
well,
for
and I'm
sure.
saying, how does someone like Roro able to just work the ball like that and others can't? I mean, it's just, it really is something special.
Of course. It's repetition. It's confidence. It's continuing to work at your craft, right, which I really appreciate. Even at age 38, you can tell he's still trying to get better every time he steps on the field. That's why he's captain. That's why he continues to be one of the leaders and one of the best players in USL. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and he's one of the masters here in this league.
Rebelar sprays it out wide. Ivanovic trying to get past Kleeman.
Good defending.
Seba with a hold-up play. Seba is able to draw the foul. We saw it last week against San Antonio, and we saw Corey Bennett coming to get the goal. Pirano got a late one as well, but it really is Neil Collins. It was the work of Sebastian Herrera throughout that game to help set up goals for Sacramento.
No, it's a good example of it, right? He's doing a lot of thankless work to hold up the ball, and even if they draw a foul, it allows Sacramento to get up the field without that much pressure, right? They can set up shop a little bit higher, and that obviously forces Monterey Bay a little bit deeper.
Cicerone, 4 goals, 3 assists on the year. He loves to take a look from this distance. He'll find Lopez. Circles right back in. Lopez goes into the box. It's Gurr crashing. And Republic not done yet, and able to draw the foul is Michelle Benitez. Well, you're looking for a career that matters? USL Academy is training Sacramento's future nurses, techs, and healthcare pros. Experience hands-on learning with knowledgeable instructors. Learn more at gurnick.edu.
Yeah, there's another good example. When you're watching games, which teams are asking questions of the other team? And right now, Sacramento is asking a ton of questions. And you're seeing, again, a lot of heroic, a lot of desperate defending from Monterey Bay, which is not a good sign for the team in blue.
Benitez, curling ball. Kleeman is up. Nick Ross waits for it. Nick with a follow-up off the bar. And it was that far post as Nick Ross nearly goes up a goal here for his home side.
Yeah, one of the things that I wanted to bring up when watching this game is how good I believe Sac Republic is at creating more than one opportunity from a set piece. Corner kick, it bounces out. Somehow, Sac Republic guys are all over it. It's free kick, it bounces out. They always keep things alive, and I think that makes them very dangerous. And they're only going to continue to get better at that as the season goes along, because I really feel like the team is just starting to peak under Neil Collins.
Well, we've seen him do it in Tampa Bay, where his teams have slowly got better throughout the season. And with this team healthy, fit, and we talked to Neil a little bit about substitution, and obviously there's guys don't want to ever come off the pitch, but he's getting guys healthy, making sure they're at their top of their game for 60, 70 minutes. You don't have to go a full 90. I know that can be frustrating for a player, but it does serve well for the team.
Nobody likes to come off the field, Rob, and obviously the guys that are most experienced, that have been a part of this club for a long time, they take a lot of responsibility about how the team performs. And so, yeah, that can be difficult. New coach has different ideas about how to balance the team. But the proof's in the pudding. I mean, the results have been excellent. Arguably the best team in USL right now, 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. They've moved up to second, right? They've moved up 6 spots in the last 6 weeks. I mean, they're heading in the right direction.
On the right wing, Perano cuts it back. Perano with the left foot. Unable to sneak it by Capizzuno. And a goal kick coming for Monterey Bay. And you take a look at Sacramento, obviously, this is a very crowded Western Conference. They've got a lot of work to do. And this man, Jordan Stewart, comes out of the Quakes Academy, gets this team rolling really early, and they've got to try to find some answers here. But you look at the East right now, and it was the match of the weekend was Lewis City versus Charleston, and Lewis City continues to put the hurt on everybody. They may threaten that Phoenix, 78 points, I believe, record a couple of seasons ago. They are on track to take the #1 seed. So coming out of the West, these games not only important for your seed, but it could be really important if you have to go play East, or if Lewis City gets knocked out early again, you could have a chance for a home match in the final.
No, that's a great point. And to bring up the contrast of the example you're giving, Lewis City has a clear identity of how they like to play on both sides of the ball. When I look at Monterey Bay, when I have conversations about the game, there are teams that hope that they get results, and there's teams that know they're going to get results. And right now, Sac Republic are a team they know they can go out and get a result. So is Lewis City. And there's one with...
Well, this is Ivanovic battling. It's Kleeman. Everybody falling down. There's bodies to the ground. No whistle coming. And Monterey Bay hoping for a penalty. They won't get one from Elvis Osmanovic. And Sacramento nearly getting beat back there. And even though they've dominated this early part of the game, Jimmy, it almost turned quickly in Monterey's favor.
Wow, I almost jinxed it. And I apologize to all the Sac Republic fans out there. So, yeah, that's still a little bit of knowing from Monterey Bay. They have the talent to obviously get forward. They scored 2 very good goals against Tulsa on Wednesday night. But they still aren't the complete team, and I think that's what Jordan Stewart has to figure out. But, yeah, they can sting you. If you're not paying attention, you're not being alert in all moments, they can hurt you with one play or one straight ball down the middle.
Moe Fair back in the lineup. They're holding mid tonight. Well, the USL on CBS Sports Network features a matchup. Eastern Conference playoff contenders North Carolina, Detroit, facing on Friday, August 15th, 4:30 Pacific, CBS Sports Network.
This is the moment, Rob, where I feel like a lot of the game has been Sac Republic's. They have a team that's vulnerable, not very confident right now. They have to take their chances. They have to score to make Monterey Bay think, oh, here we go again. And if you miss out on that opportunity and you let them hang around, that's where you can get caught. And so it's very important, I think, in these next 15, 20 minutes for Sac Republic to continue to drive the game and make Monterey Bay suffer as much as possible.
Well, you think about the way they started. Monterey Bay picking up a result in 7 of their first 9 matches. And you look at the win total, they've got 6 on the year. And a foul maybe off the ball here between Seba and Nico Gordon. And they're going to have a further conversation with the referee tonight. But you take a look at this Monterey Bay team. They're just 1 fewer win than Sacramento, yet find themselves 5 points down. Here's another look at that. Clumsy a little bit all around. Very rare from Sacramento to be broken down up the middle like that.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on for the center backs. Make sure that maybe they give a little bit of a cushion if Ivanovic is trying to get in behind and running off the back shoulder. And I feel like as the game progresses, you're just going to see more and more long balls like we're seeing here from Monterey Bay.
Lee Desmond getting his first goal in a Republic uniform in San Antonio. The first goal, and fortunately Republic giving one back just a minute later, but they'd go on to win 3-1 with this man earning Team of the Week honors. Christian Pirano with another 3rd goal in a game to put a stamp on the win.
Against his former team, no less.
Against his former team, and he has been brilliant. Neil Collins and this staff have been able to tap into Christian this year and get something I think Todd Donovan and many others felt they could get from him, and he's got 4 goals on the year to show for it.
Yeah, I don't feel like Christian Pirano runs. I feel like he glides. And when he has the ball at his feet, you know that something is going to happen. What I really love about his game in particular is he's always looking to play forward. You see other players always maybe playing safe, playing simple, but he's looking to make something happen.
Over the top, flag stays down for the moment. Bit dangerous here, and Roro looks to clear. And the Crispin Kelp will keep it in possession. Ball served in. Ivanovic the target, as is Rebelar. And now a bit of pressure from Monterey Bay.
You can start to see now Monterey Bay is getting a little bit of a grip of the game, find themselves a little higher up the field. This, for Sac Republic to break this rhythm, I would say, as the ball gets cleared out, they have to win that second ball, and then can they establish the tempo and rhythm again to make sure they can kind of get back to what they were doing in the first 10 minutes. Because right now I feel like at this tempo, plays into Monterey Bay's hands.
Speaking with Neil Collins earlier in the week, and one thing he said to us is that probably the one thing they want to still learn is how do they play from behind. He's like, we don't want to go down goals, but can we add that essentially to our bucket here so we can go into the postseason? We aren't frazzled when we go down a goal early.
No, I thought that was a good observation, and I loved talking shop with him. What I appreciated is that ultimately the theme that he's getting to is game management. If you're up a goal, how do you manage the game from there? If you're down a goal, how do you react and make plays? And what kind of changes are you making in game, where sometimes the coach can't make those decisions for you? You have to recognize what the opponent is giving you, and then you have to try to exploit that the best that you can. So I can understand where he's coming from, and obviously he's got plenty of the season to work with. But you don't want to go down a goal, but there is some real value in figuring out what kind of team you have when you're down.
Well, the other side here, Jordan Stewart, he found a bit of magic early in the season. How does he get it back for his team? I know you talked a little bit about shape, but it seemed like they've got the personnel. They started off hot. They got some pretty good wins, a couple against Phoenix, Orange County. I mean, these are quality wins for this side. And how do they get back to a place where they are defending? Because they were defending fairly well earlier in the season.
No, they were, no doubt. And I felt like they were more complete at the beginning of the season. Things were going their way. They were finishing their chances. Maybe that call would have been a penalty earlier in the season, and now it's not. And so how do they react to these types of situations? And when you haven't won a game in a while, it's hard to regain that. And I'm sure Jordan Stewart is saying, hey, we just got to play simple. It becomes more less is more in some ways. But if you're not getting the results behind that, or the plays aren't going your way, you have to rely on your leaders to show up every day. Just try to get better. Let's control what you can control. And right now, it seems like the season's starting to get away from them a bit, and this is a big game for them to kind of regain some of that confidence that they've lost.
Well, they brought in Johnny Klein from Charleston. He gets a goal in his debut with the club on Wednesday. He's on the bench here tonight. And they're trying to add some depth as well. Pirano Jack Gurr keeps it low for Cicerone in the box. Cicerone cutting back to his left, looking for another opportunity, takes a deflection. Michel Benitez will find it in the area. Russ again, the run continues, and Sacramento continues to try to find some look on net. They can't get it, and it will be a goal kick for Monterey Bay.
I don't know if we're going to see the full highlight, but Russell Cicerone's run to initiate the pass into the space was excellent, and I think he's very, very good at making those darting runs to really force the defender to now react, and now he's in control of the situation as opposed to the defender. He finds himself in a good spot. Obviously can't get off the cleanest shot that he would probably prefer. Maybe could have left it off to somebody else. Couldn't see the whole field there, but a good opportunity and a nice signal of intent from Sac Republic.
Kleeman up in the aerial duels. He leads the USL Championship in just those plays, and no one's been better. And Gurr is flying up the pitch. Into the heart of the park he comes. Pirano loves this position. Another thing Sacramento really good at, they lead the league in passes in the opponent's half here. Quite patient. Pirano finding Cicerone. Cicerone's going to give it a go. Chance for Seba. Saved by Campuzano. And Republic fans can't believe it. What a block coming from the Spanish goalkeeper.
Yeah, that was a great save. He also made a couple great saves to keep him in the game against Tulsa midweek. But great entry pass, good running, good third-person running. Unfortunate for Seba. He's done enough to maybe a little bit of coolness there, a little baby chip. I was a center back, so I don't know really what I'm talking about, all things considered. But now, since we have the benefit of replay, maybe a little dink to the back post would have been the better one, but great sequence of events.
First Atlas disposal corner kick for Sacramento. Jared Timmer was hoping for a whistle, won't get it. Sacramento retains possession. Pirano. Cicerone.
That's good defending, but I absolutely love
kick here. And now Yanalti might have a run at it. And a clean tackle. It will be a throw for Monterey Bay.
Sac Republic have to be one of the best teams in the league at keeping that set piece alive. Always getting a second or third chance. There's an art and a skill to that. They clearly practice it, they clearly talk about it, and there's some real motivation. You can see their energy. We're going to get something out of this, even if the first one doesn't come off. It's really impressive.
Pirano and Cicerone not on the same page. And Monterey Bay's got the turnover.
A good opportunity here for Monterey Bay to slow the game down, catch their breath. They've been chasing a lot of Sac Republic shadows, as it were. And now can they create an attack that has 5, 6, 7, 8 passes? They seem a little eager to get across in.
Galloway. And goal kick for Danny Vitiello gives us a chance to hear from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
So you're out for a drink. Before that drink turns to drinks, make a plan to get home safe. Just call a friend, a cab, or get a ride share. Whatever you do, don't let drunk drive. Go safely, California.
Sacramento trying to keep pace with Tulsa with a 5-2 win over New Mexico today. And they currently sit atop of the West with 38 points.
Yeah, they're cruising. That's an impressive performance today.
They beat Sacramento twice this year. We were a little bit shell-shocked, and this is the best season Tulsa has had in their history. Little flick on. Seba. Flag is up. We'll join our text community and get ticket offers, latest news, and exclusive content. Text enter to the number on the screen or scan the QR code to join today. 6 shots for Sacramento, just 1 on target. Big save by Campuzano a few minutes ago. And we are level here, 20 minutes gone by.
Yeah, all things being fair, Rob, I would say Sac Republic deserved to have the 1-0 lead. That's not how the game gets played sometimes. So they still have to find a way to get something out of the rest of this first half. I feel like if I'm Monterey Bay, I played midweek, I got to go to El Paso on the weekends. You know, they got to travel to go to El Paso.
Toronto on a display midway.
But getting a 0-0 result, I think, would be, or to halftime, 0-0 would be oh, wow, what a ball.
Through it comes, but Jared Timmer with a bit of recovery. The flag was up on Malongo. You talk about a back line, and they each do something a bit special, and Jared Timmer's recovery is the best in the West. There's no doubt about it. And the reason this team has been so good on this run has been these back three in Desmond, Kleeman, and Timmer.
Yeah, when they start a game, 9 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws. That is incredible. 23 goals for, 3 against.
Shell Benitez comes crashing in.
Let's start those guys every single game for the next 5 years with those types of numbers.
And the games they haven't started together, 3 losses against San Jose, against Birmingham, and Orange County in the Jägermeister Cup. So
numbers don't lie, Rob.
The liars always use numbers, my friend, so you got to be careful.
We could have a whole podcast just on that alone. All right, you see Monterey Bay dropping off just a little bit. We'll see how the Republic try to break this down. Where are they finding pockets of space? How are they trying to shift and move? Can they create isolation for Seba up top? He does a great job of holding up the ball, or he's been drawing fouls, which also is very helpful. And then when that happens and they collapse centrally, this is Monterey Bay, then can you find some players in pockets of space?
Cicerone, Pirano, Gurr sliding in. Gurr will cut it back. Cicerone trying to get there, and Moby Fair was able to recover well enough. But you see not only Seba engage with that back line, but look how far Nico Gordon was drawn out.
Yeah, it's incredible. They clearly have Seba as a target. We can't let him dictate the flow, but he's doing it anyway. So they need to figure out a way to...
Gurr with the cross, a one-handed save by Campuzano. And maybe not a technical save, but either way, it goes down and goes and gets it and keeps another look from Sacramento going his way.
Yeah, good opportunity there. Jack Gurr has been whipping in some high-quality balls over this last month. Some excellent assists, and he does another one there. That's a save that had to be made. He had to do something to the goalkeeper.
Monterey Bay with 22 points, a -3 in the goal differential column. Meanwhile, Sacramento with +12. That's best in the Western Conference, 3rd best in the USL Championship. Lopez has a bit of room. He's going to dig it over the top to Cicerone. Ross and Nico Gordon able to get there again.
Yeah, good running there from Cicerone, and what a ball from Roro to recognize that they were setting up Alex Lara to go up over the top. Good defending there from Jack Gurr. Good positioning, good space.
3 times now, living on the edge. Monterey Bay on that back line.
Yeah, good cover there from Nico Gordon on that particular play.
And look, you think about Russell Cicerone 2 seasons ago, 17 goals in the championship. Injuries last year slowed him a bit. He's got 4 this year. I know he's a guy who expects to be at double digits and more. And while he's had opportunities in the run, it just seems the ball hasn't found him well enough. And how frustrating can that be for some of these strikers, especially a guy like Cicerone who can do so many things and almost create something out of nothing at times.
No, it's true. He does lead the team in chances created. So he's still finding a way to be dangerous. And now you see him at times dropping deeper. So now he's a facilitator as opposed to being the one that's going to finish goals.
Seba Roro cuts it back, maybe a bit too heavy on the touch. Stays on the turf, still an opportunity. Monterey Bay bending again. But Gurr's right back with it. Gurr might go over the top, looking for Seba to redirect. Save by Campuzano. Never quit, and you talked about it on the set pieces, but even in the open run here, Republic right back at it with a second look.
Yeah, that's where Monterey Bay, using them as kind of the focal point here. When they win the ball, they drop so deep that when they win it, they've got nobody to play to, and that's to Sac Republic's advantage. And that showed there. Jack, again, putting in a great ball, and Seba just not enough on it, but a good opportunity. And again, asking a lot of questions.
Cicerone drop it in, able to step over Lara. Roro with a little bit of a soft tap. They've got Gurr on this right wing here. Toronto don't see him. Russ again. Russ might go for this one. Russ!
Why not? Have a swing. He deserves it. He's been working hard, Rob. But another good opportunity. We'll see here. This is the cross from earlier. Jack Gurr puts it in a great spot, just fading to the back post. Seba maybe just a little bit too late. Couldn't get enough power on it, but that's the type of ball and run that you want to see. At some point, if you keep finding that, you're going to hit the back of the net.
8 shots for Sacramento. A couple of saves for Capizuno to keep this. And a tie at 26 minutes into this game here for Monterey Bay, trying to get out of a tailspin mid part of this season. And they had a chance in the Jägermeister Cup and lose to a USL League One team that would have propelled them to the next round. Instead, it's Sacramento, who is going to head on the road on August 20th to Loudoun, who's had some struggles as well. Ross will find it from Seba. Double team, spinning out of it. Cicerone continues to go. Cut down, and the crowd wants something. Russ says his jersey was held. The whistle won't come.
Russell doesn't seem too upset, all things considered, so I think Alex Lara did enough to get to the ball first. But I really love the movement from Cicerone today. I think he's been excellent. He hasn't had a goal or an assist in the last month. I think his last goal contribution was July 4th. So the guy's due, and it's clear that he's running around like he's going to make something happen tonight. He's been excellent.
The one thing for Sacramento, and you go back 2 years ago, they really relied on Russ so much, but there it is as Lara goes to ground. So many different scores. You had Pirano with 4, Herrera with 4, Cicerone with 4, but Roa's got a goal, Gurr's got a couple. I mean, even got one from Lee Desmond last week. So they're finding from a lot of different places. Even Corey Bennett in his championship debut comes in and gets a goal. Good thing, bad thing. I think you want your strikers to score, but I think it's also good when you have multiple threats.
100%. I feel like when I look at the teams around the league, Sac Republic can hurt you on both sides of the field, right? So you have Cicerone on one side, you got Pirano on the other. And then underneath, you got Roro pulling the strings. And then you have Benitez, who can make runs deep. He can whip in crosses from deep. I think he does a good job of that. Jack Gurr does the same on the other side. So how do you trap Sac Republic? You really can't, and that's how I think they hurt you.
Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM 157, North America's only 24/7 source, engaging soccer talk. USL All Access Tuesday nights at Sirius XM 157. The rivalry week begins for Sacramento. Monterey Bay tonight. Oakland Roots come to town next Saturday here at Hart Health Park.
That's going to be a tasty affair, as I like to say. Look forward to that one already.
Your good friend, Benny Philhopper.
That's right.
In charge there at Oakland, and quite a turnaround. It was a little bit shaky there, but great news to hear them securing training facility and really rooting down in Oakland, which is a good thing to see after losing 2 of their professional clubs. Turnover here, moving forward. Ninalti trying to find Ivanovic. Ivanovic sizing up, finds Revelar. Broken up by Lee Desmond for a moment, but right back into the mix. Not done yet. Sacramento still has work to do. Cicerone, the hustle continuing from Sacramento. And now can they go on a counter of their own?
Yeah, when you look at the contrasts of opportunities, the Monterey Bay opportunities are more spurts. 1-2 passes, maybe they get a shot, maybe they get a cross. What Sacramento's done a really, really good job of is sustaining their pressure, sustaining their attack, hanging around more. Now they just need to finish that one chance and really put to bed all of this possession they had and bring an attack to completion, as they say in coaching speak. They love that entry pass. It's like they're playing hoops, right? You find the center in the middle, just don't get 3 in the key.
Cicerone, the ball's deflected on the attempt by Lara. It will be a corner kick for Sacramento. And Russ was salivating over that one.
Yeah, more heroic defending here from Monterey Bay. Last-ditch defending, as they say. But that entry pass in from one of the back 3 of the Sac Republic into the feet of Seba Herrera, and it just allows the supporting runs to flourish underneath. He can lay it off to multiple people. It could be Pirano, Roro, Cicerone, and all of a sudden, now Monterey Bay is just scrambling.
I know you're a child of the 90s watching Hakeem and Shaq and Dave Robb getting those post balls. Here's a look on here and just the game and how it's evolved. But you're right, a similar sense here where Seba can really redirect. And if you guys have making the right run, good things can happen. And we see him for Sacramento. Well, that means we're going to step aside here for a hydration break. Temperatures were 100 today, in the 80s when we kicked off. It looks like we'll probably have one just in the first half. But with that, we can step aside and hear from our sponsor at Ashton and Price.
At Ashton & Price, we have successfully represented Northern California injury victims for over 25 years. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win. And between you and me, we win a lot.
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
On a hot day like this, what else do you want? How about ice cream? Crystal Creamery has been building strong bones and bodies. Freshest dairy from the Central Valley since 1901. Taking pride in delivering dairy you can trust. Grab a glass, taste how fresh local can be. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh. Remember when you were a kid and you could just absolutely crush chocolate milk like no problem? And now I'd probably be on the sideline.
I'm still a big kid, Rob. I will still crush ice cream and chocolate milk.
Okay, well.
And to go back to what you said earlier, I'd like to think I'm a child of the 90s, but the 80s was more my thing. So we were dishing the ball. I grew up in LA. I don't know how everybody's going to feel about that, but we dished the ball to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You get the ball into him, good things are going to happen. So Seba is our Kareem tonight. That's going to be our metaphor, our comparison.
And I did have 100 goals and sort of a scoring title in a sense, but Kareem a little bit higher up there, although no longer has that title. Good night, warm night, probably the warmest night we've had. An incredible summer here, and the first triple-digit day where Sacramento have played, and Rodrigo Lopez and company. Interesting, what does that mean for coaches, especially in Monterey Bay, who played on Wednesday, and now you've got to think about...
In Monterey, which is, like, people were wearing jackets at the game. So a completely different climate, even though it's, what, 3-4 hours away?
So even for Sacramento here, you got 5 subs, and how do you kind of work this through? You obviously don't want to burn guys out, and this is kind of those days. It seems to me your body's warm, but injuries can happen because you're just a little stressed a little bit more.
No, 100%. But what I actually find very fascinating about the water break is it gives coaches a moment to reset. Monterey Bay needed that reset, so I'm curious to see how they come out. If I'm Neil Collins, though, I say, hey, listen, we've got 12 minutes to halftime. I need to go at it. We need to step up the pressure, step up the tempo just that little bit more, and see if we can nick a goal before halftime so we can really put Monterey Bay under some pressure.
Republic with 10 shots, 2 on target, 2 shots for Monterey Bay. And no score after a half an hour at Hart Health Park. Jimmy Conrad, Rob McAllister with you in the booth tonight. And Sacramento has felt in control of this one, but yet a goal to show for it because this man has come up with 2 massive stops when they've needed him the most. Out of USL League One, Lexington a season ago. He's become their #1 quickly on the Central Coast. Sends this one upfield. And just spraying it. Nialti trying to get there. Nialti may have got a touch on it. Interesting rebound and coming right back at the feet of Xavi. But now it's Cicerone. And it's off of Joel Garcia. San Jose State man. And the right back position tonight.
I've been impressed with Xavi, number 88 for Monterey Bay. I thought he was the main catalyst for their attack against Tulsa midweek. He didn't have the assist, but he had the hockey assist, right? He put players in good positions to make things happen. And he is a danger man. They have to really be thoughtful about making sure he doesn't pick up balls in those pockets of space where he can run at the back three. I think that's going to be really important for Sac Republic to pay attention to throughout the game.
Well, he had a key goal against Sacramento last fall in a 2-2 draw for the Republic. Pirano comes to it. Saba holding, right back to Pirano. Pirano goes down to the box. No whistle again.
So one of the things I like to look at after this cross.
Gurr crossing it in. Cicerelli trying to get there. It's denied again. The cleanup is Rodrigo Lopez.
That's why I showed up, goal. That's why I showed up. I love me some Roro Lopez. Puts himself in a good spot. We talked before about creating more than one opportunity when you're in the attacking third. Sac Republic, one of the best in the league at doing this. And this was evidence once again of keeping something alive. Right, we thought it was going to be a penalty. Doesn't happen. Sac Republic keeps the ball, gets it out wide to Jack Gurr. It's a great cross into the back post like you showed earlier. Russell does excellent to get it alive. Roro, right spot, right time, puts himself on the top of the box and just finishes it. I love it.
5 guys in the box, Jimmy, and it's the small things you talk about when teams win. And Rodrigo Lopez gets the goal, but it's because there's 5 guys. Pirano was right there as well. It's relentless and it's impossible to stop.
Oh, it really is. And again, I've highlighted it a few times already this half, but just the desire to keep plays alive, those little details to make the play, to keep Monterey Bay under that type of pressure. At some point, they're going to break. They're going to crack. They've already demonstrated that throughout the season, and they needed this goal. We talked about it coming out of the water break. Can they do something in these next 12 minutes to put Monterey Bay under some real pressure? And they did that.
And the captains will be drawn over after a post-goal discussion between the two teams, and a bit heated. And Elvis Osmanovic is going to try to calm things down a bit. Well, reminder, eFootball's here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club, or maybe former U.S. men's national team member, Jimmy Kimmer. eFootball, freedom to... Republic gave up a quick goal after scoring in San Antonio. They've got to be mindful here.
We can already see, based on what happened after the goal, a little bit off camera, Monterey Bay being emotional about what happened. And that's just a sign of frustration.
Yalty right back on his feet. He's going to spray it forward on the run. Here comes Malongo, and a clear by Jack Gurr. Gave everyone a bit of a pause here in the stadium as Danny Vidiello way outside the 6.
Yeah, Neil Collins, the manager for Sac Republic, absolutely beside himself, probably because of what happened in San Antonio, right? You get that goal, you work so hard to get it, and then you just give it back away cheaply. You give away a cheap opportunity. That's a pretty simple ball up over the top, straight ball, straight run. Should be able to get managed, and now you give a corner away, and obviously you have to now manage the situation. We talked about game management before. Let's see how Sac Republic does.
First corner of the evening for Monterey Bay. Driven back post. Out comes Vidiello. Malongo's been a bit quiet in this game, and now there's 2 players down. One is Kleeman, and the other is Ivanovic, as they may have connected as that ball was serviced. Obviously, as a center back yourself, mentally, how did you get past just these, especially on set pieces, guys crashing in? I'm sure you took a couple of to the neck and the head throughout your time. And is it just be a goldfish, forget about it? I mean, how do you...
Sometimes you just forget about it because you just got rocked. I actually retired due to concussions. I got punched in the back of the head by Matt Pickens in my last game, and I blacked out for a little bit, and it was enough to, and I'd already had a significant concussion prior to that with the U.S. against Panama in the Gold Cup quarterfinal. I got knocked out cold for 20 minutes, and so, yeah, that changed my perspective a little bit. And so after I had another significant one, I stepped away from the game, unfortunately, and that was hard to do. But yeah, I'm very sensitive to these types of head injuries, and I'm hopeful the protocols are a little bit better than they were when I was playing. It seems like they are.
And I know that you and Taylor Twellman and some others have been really on the forefront of making sure this is, because it a lot of times, even in baseball has happened, it's the ones that don't look as violent that tend to be the worst. And so
yeah, you're right.
Both these players are going to get checked out. That's Ivanovic and Kleeman. They'll come to the side, and they'll go through protocols here. But 40 minutes in, Sacramento with the goal lead. After Danny Vitiello was able to snuff out the corner kick from Monterey Bay. A reminder, Elk Grove Charter School, they believe nobody succeeds alone. Come see what a flexible education can do for your student. What do you want to see from Sacramento here in the next 5-7 minutes, whatever it may be with stoppage time?
If you have the opportunity to create a numerical advantage somewhere, if you can get the ball up high to Seba, who's isolated in a 1v1, then I think you try to go step on the gas and make something happen. But the urgency can be a little bit different. Monterey Bay's got to chase the game, and what a switch point of attack here.
Seba finding Gert. Pirano's waiting for it, comes back to the run. Pirano may cross this in, a deflected ball saved by Campuzano. As Rodrigo Lopez nearly with a brace in this first half.
Yeah, played out pretty much like I thought. If you had an opportunity to get it to Seba, you do, and good things seem to happen. Yeah, Sac Republic in complete control right now.
Pirano triple teamed as Seba can't get in front. Campuzano comes flying out of the 6.
Yeah, good goalkeeping there, very alert, and he's probably the biggest reason why the game is still 1-0.
Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport. for the latest product specials. That's a lot to remember. Just Google Select. How about that? Here's a ball long range from outside the 18. And not much there to test Danny Vitiello, the July Player of the Month.
Yeah, good opportunity, though, all things considered, from Monterey Bay, where you break that first line of pressure and you just keep running until that next line steps to you, and Sac Republic never stepped. Maybe he shoots it a little bit too soon, but I think that's something that Jordan Stewart and the team can look at and say, can we get a few more of those types of opportunities to put Sac Republic under pressure in the second half?
Well, these games have been close. I mean, while Sacramento may have the advantage, 4 wins out of the 7, and we're in the 8th match, nearly every one has been decided by a goal or less. And we've had some battles over the year. And weirdly enough, Sacramento's had more success in Seaside than they have had here against Monterey Bay at home. Almost the exact same play drawn up, but Pirano wasn't ready for it. And it will be a goal kick for Monterey Bay. Now, gear up like a pro with the Oak Goalkeeper Kit by Hummel. Crafted for performance, sleek design, fearless style. Snag yours today at the Republic website. Lara gives it right back to Roro. Now Cicerone. Cicerone trying to work a give and go with Seba.
Yeah, Monterey Bay just can't find those passes, like the connective tissue, right? And anytime they are in trouble, they seem to just hit more hopeful balls into space, and maybe Ivanovic will get to it, and maybe they can win the second ball. It doesn't seem like a strategy that's going to produce consistent success. It'll work at times because they got some talented players like we're seeing here.
Timmer able to cut it off in front of Ivanovic. Revelar now looks to press.
Yeah, good pass under pressure. It's nice.
The one thing I think benefiting Neil Collins' side is the talent that's on this Republic bench. So when you're prepping for games like this, you have a really talented squad that can put real pressure on your starting 11 and feel comfortable when it comes game time.
Yeah, and adding Corey Bennett. What a signing.
Pirano flying. Pirano may go for goal. Pirano goes near post, and Campuzano snuffs it out. Benitez was wide open on the left. I don't think he saw him, but another quality look and run for Sacramento.
Yeah, good build-up again. Finding one of your top attacking players in a good space. It's been happening consistently. I feel like Campuzano, the goalkeeper for Monterey Bay, has already got a highlight reel video he could put together to send to scouts. Just to hear in the first half, Rob.
Do you want your voice on it or just straight music?
Preferably EDM. We need some EDM in there. Not too loud, though. Sometimes they get a little loud.
Get you a glow stick and more. There's Pirano flying with Jack Gurr. Sacramento continues the threat all the way looking for Benitez. It comes to Benitez. He wasn't ready for it as he thought Garcia may have had a chance to get to it. Roro now. Roro will bend it.
Ooh. So I feel like what you're seeing is a lot of themes. If you can't get the ball to Pirano in an area where he can run at the back line, well, he's going to drag a defender into that space. It's going to open up the area out wide for Jack Gurr to assume. And then Jack Gurr finds himself in a spot where he can whip a ball to the back post. Sacramento keeps it alive just like they did here, and we get a good opportunity yet again from a player in maroon.
6 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by Sacramento County Department of Health Services. Seba and Lara. Seba just
love it,
doing the dirty work. Even up a goal, they feel like they've dominated, and that, I think, is the difference maker this year. I mean, you can just see.
But that's a body language thing. If I'm playing against Seba and he's throwing a tackle like that right before halftime, I'm like, yeah, this guy's up for it tonight, right? And that's the last thing you want to see or feel when you're down a goal and the team's not playing well and you don't really have a lot of answers as to how you're going to get out of it.
You faced a lot of different strikers in your time. Quickness, size. Would you rather have someone like Seba going into you, or someone's going to try to fly past you? And we'll hit it right after this. Another cross, another look for Sacramento. The timing was a bit off.
I learned a lot.
Players like the contact.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm not afraid to mix it up every once in a while, Rob. But I learned a lot from playing against Carlos Ruiz, the Guatemalan international.
Roro to Cicerone, and a second look for Cicerone is deflected. And it's Lara again, and it will be a corner kick for Sacramento.
Yeah, he was a master at standing me up, like Seba's doing to the defenders from Monterey Bay, and occupying that space and getting to that space before I could. So you have to learn how to get in front of him and not let him get that footing, get his arms around you. Monterey Bay's not doing that. I could go give them a nice tutorial, I think, at halftime if they needed it. But another good opportunity here for Sac Republic. Again, they create an opportunity, they make another one happen, it leads to a corner.
Ball driven low this time. It was Timmer. It was in the neighborhood.
But who wins it again, Rob? It's relentless how good they are at this.
Pirano finding Benitez. Skirts all the way through again. And will Sacramento keep it? They will.
It's another Atlas disposal corner kick.
Love to see it for Sacramento as yet again a corner kick with an opportunity to put one behind Campuzano right before the end of this first half. Crowd still up on their feet here at Heart Health Park. It'll be Roro this time. Pirano waiting on the short corner. It's driven hard and well. Looking a little flick on. It would have been Freddie Kleeman, and they'll redo it.
Love it, little trickery here. Roro got him on skates.
Cut him back, curling, just soft enough. No one on the near post.
I like it, little trickery. Got a 2v1, got to exploit it, keep them on their toes. And then Monterey Bay give it right back. They have to do better in those moments. Just right back under pressure, right back having to be organized. A lot of discipline. If you're not going to have the ball, you have to have a lot of discipline against it. And they seem a little stretched out right now, Monterey Bay. Halftime couldn't come quicker for them.
14 shots for Sacramento, 5 on target. 4 saves for Campuzano and a couple other key moments in this match. Keep Sacramento out of goal. Takes a nice bounce here as it comes.
Got to figure that out. Maybe Pirano could have given Gurr a little bit more, something he could hit first time as opposed to a cross, right? Getting a shot as opposed to a cross. I'm nitpicking here, but what another great opportunity. And guess who's back on the ball after they lost it? It is honestly incredible. If you're watching Sac Republic for the first time, they are masters at this. And they continue to make this a part of their identity under their manager, Neil Collins.
And what I love about Russell Cicerone there, I know he's been thirsty for a goal going about a month in a drought here. Still didn't try to force something, still tried to find a teammate. That says a lot about this team chemistry right now.
100%. That's a good sign of the culture. It's healthy.
Roro is trying to find Gurr. A little bit lazy, but Gurr's going to get to it anyway. Gurr's going to follow it up. Just missed the near post. And Capizano and Monterey Bay escape again.
When I watched the Tulsa game against Monterey Bay midweek, Tulsa made hay on that right side. Gadiri, Gordon were struggling. They made their own mistakes, but they also were a little lax, and I thought there were spaces they could take advantage of. And when we think about the balance of the attacks and where they're coming from for Sac Republic, it's not on the left side. We're not saying Benitez's name a lot. We're saying Jack Gurr and Pirano's name a lot more.
And that will bring us to the end of the first half here. Rodrigo Lopez, his second on the year, on a rebound and a relentless attack from Sacramento once again. And 45 minutes in, this team has put up 15 shots in the half. Neil Collins hopes his side can add another 15 more in the second. The Modelo halftime show is coming up. Halftime, we'll break down first half. Jimmy Conrad, go around the league. You won't want to miss it. See you on the right end of this. Republic up 1-0.
To the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Gives XCFC the lead. Cedeno gets it back. 1-0 City.
If we can bring new life into the world, why can't we bring new hope to those who need it most? If we can remove cancer, why can't we remove hunger? If we can rebuild bodies, why can't we rebuild entire communities? Better health takes more than healthcare. UC Davis Health. Believe in better.
USL All Access on SiriusXM FC every Tuesday night. Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, we've got all the news around the championship.
This series is a dead heat. This is the one we've talked about since the end of May.
We'll recap weekly results, talk about player transactions, coaching tactics, and hey, maybe even a guest appearance by some interviews.
Who knows? SiriusXM FC every Tuesday night and the following day on the USL YouTube page and the SiriusXM app.
And tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage. Insurance plans that balance value and coverage. UC Davis Health, believe in better. And Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Let's take a look around the league. Brought to you by Best Western, our USL news and notes. And another change in Las Vegas as they have their third head coach of the season as they remain at the bottom of the West. Tampa Bay starting to turn it around. Their unbeaten streak continues against Indy. 10 matches since September 18th. And then Tulsa, look out. They are really on a tear these days. Top of the West standings, and they've recently acquired Trevor Ammon. But this man, talk of the town, we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. USL Player of the Month, Danny Vitiello, looking for his third Golden Glove award maybe at the end of the season. He has just been spectacular. The anchor in the back, along with Jared Timmer, Freddie Kleeman, and Lee Desmond. It's one of the best in the USL. But look at this, 3 shutouts, 4 saves, and almost a goal and a half prevented each match in the month of July. And just getting started here. Halftime continues. It's brought to you by Modelo. In Sacramento, it's Monterey Bay. More on the way.
For 12 years, we've been met with hurdle after hurdle, bump after bump. But one thing anyone who's spent any time in the city knows, if one path gets cut off, we find another or create another.
All those in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously.
At Sky River Casino, join today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Take your loyalty to new heights with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Join today at skyriver.com.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
If we can bring new life into the world, why can't we bring new hope to those who need it most? If we can remove cancer, why can't we remove hunger? If we can rebuild bodies, why can't we rebuild entire communities? Better health takes more than healthcare. UC Davis Health. Believe in better.
Listen up. Why do you do it? You ignore the signs and the flashing lights.
Don't you see the work zone?
Seriously? Caltrans is working right there. Right next to your speeding car. My mom is out there. That's my dad's truck. That's my papa behind those cones.
So slow down.
Watch out for them. And be alert. How would you feel if that was your dad? Be alert. Be work zone alert.
At Sky River Casino, experience the height of hospitality. With 18 restaurants and bars, there's something for everyone. It's taste on a whole new level. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Join today at skyriver.com.
Halftime in Sacramento, Rodrigo Lopez has put the Republic up top in the first of 2 in this Northern California rivalry here in 2025. It's Modelo at the break. We welcome you inside the booth. It's Ron McAllister, Jimmy Conrad with you. But before we do that, let's take a look at our Western Conference standings. Tulsa, they have been the surprise of the West, and they are putting the hurt. This is going into currently Sacramento would be at 30. San Antonio is tied. They will continue to stay in third. But, I mean, you look at this. 2 wins, 2 losses. and you go from maybe second to out of the playoff picture. This is about as tight as we've seen the West, and it's just every year it's a battle. But even Lexington, Oakland, they're not out of it, and they shouldn't feel that way.
They shouldn't, but they probably feel like they're out of it.
Yeah.
It's, Oakland down 2-1 to Colorado Springs right now at home, so that's not a good look for them in particular. It's nice to see a team say, hey, listen, we're going to run away with this right now. And Tulsa's been that team. They've gotten the best of SAC a few times this season.
Identity over these last few years, and they finally got it. Direct your attention back to this match. Begin with Monterey Bay. Again, they just don't seem to have it. They don't seem connected. How do they sort of sort things out here at the break?
That's a good question. Ultimately, we knew coming in with the heartbreak of their loss midweek. They were up 2-1 with about 20 minutes left to go. They gave up 2 late goals, and they lose that one. That's crushing at home. Then they had a short rest, right? Sacramento's had all week to prepare for this, and they had to just flip it and come here. Different climate and try to make the best of it. And that's what their performance looks like. They're just trying to make the best of it. And they almost got to halftime 0-0, but unfortunately, and I think deservedly, are down a goal, ultimately 1-0. Really impressive performance from Sac Republic. Really clear at how they want to play and how they're trying to break down and trying to get it to Seba in there. If that's not on, they've got other options to go out wide, and they have no answers, Monterey Bay. It's really fun to watch. Sac Republic's been incredible.
Well, let's just tap into what we've seen from Sacramento over this last month. I mean, they're not allowing goals. That back three has been as good as we've seen a unit really in the USL Championship over the last couple of years. And you look at just some of these stats defensively, you're talking about when those three are in with Danny Vidiello behind them, McCleeman, Timmer, and Lee Desmond. And you have like Chibi Okebu on the bench. We've seen Michelle Benitez fill in back there. And so they've got players, but yet still defensively, they've just been as good as ever. And I guess really only stopping them now would be some kind of injury, but it just feels like they're one. And I think you play along back line, how critical and how hard is it to find 2 or other guys, or maybe another guy and 3 others, depending on the formation you're playing, to sort of fall in sync like this?
Yeah, there's a nice rhythm to the team, and I think they have a really good understanding of how each player is going to move in every situation. And then if things break down, they just happen to have the reigning USL Player of the Month, Danny Vidiello, in goal, who's just making the timely save. And I can't tell you how important that is, because those are mood changers. Even if you're up a couple goals, you give up one, because you're taking a lot of pride in being a good defensive team. And so, yeah, that rapport that they've built and they're going to continue to build. I can't say enough about what Neil Collins has done in terms of having this team peak at the right time and to balance the minutes that they have. I know a lot of players probably aren't happy with some of the minutes they're getting. That's part of it. But when you're having success because of it, not much the players can say.
Well, the chemistry has been strong, and early on, it's Rodrigo Lopez, the legend, coming up with a big-time goal. Full moon tonight in Northern California and Sacramento. We'll have your highlights coming up right after this.
¿Cómo se crea una comunidad con actitud ganadora? Manteniéndonos activos, trabajando y jugando juntos, fortaleciendo nuestros cuerpos, huesos y músculos con alimentos sanos, frescos y regionales. Crystal Creamery orgullosamente patrocina a atletas y equipos deportivos en el Valle Central de California. Porque cuando nutres a una comunidad, la comunidad prospera. Crystal Creamery. Simple, local, fresh.
We embody passion, grit, and curiosity.
Pushing boundaries and challenging norms.
We challenge each other intellectually
and practice kindness,
leaving a lasting impact wherever we go.
We do hard things the right way.
Soaring high and inspiring others to do the same.
It's a mindset and a lifestyle.
It's the way of the Hornet.
At Sky River Casino. Catch all the action with rewards that add up and up. Experience new heights. With 18 restaurants, bars, and lounges, there's something for everyone. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines in our thrilling high-limit room. Savor the win. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Join today at skyriver.com.
You're nothing short of unique. Your goals, your experiences, but most importantly, your health. Cookie-cutter health coverage just doesn't cut it. Western Health Advantage provides what really matters. Flexible plans that work for your individual needs. Support for healthy obsessions, getting more than the basics. Care that uplifts our community. That's my advantage. Whether you get insurance from an employer or covered California, make the healthy switch and find your advantage at westernhealth.com.
And we welcome you back to Heart Health Park. Roman Counselor Jimmy Conrad here, a Rodrigo Lopez goal, the difference maker in the first 45 minutes. No changes for either side. Monterey Bay will now head to the north end in the Tower Bridge Battalion. And for this Monterey Bay side, can they regroup and find an answer quickly in a game where Sacramento has put up 16 shots compared to Monterey Bay's 3? Quick touch, Nialti. And Nick Ross does everything he can to keep in front. And a quick whistle here.
Yeah, from a Monterey Bay perspective, they have to figure out a way to consistently put Sac Republic's defense under pressure. They have to make them suffer in some ways. And if we look at my suffering index, as I like to call it, Rob.
Is that a heat index?
Yeah, it's in there. I'm still working on the chart. Don't worry, the visual of it. But let's just talk about it out loud. They didn't really make Sac Republic suffer all that much. Maybe one or two balls up over the top where there's some indecision from Sac that maybe led to a potential penalty, but all things considered, Sac Republic was making Monterey Bay suffer a ton in that first half.
Well, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS and ESPN all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis, CBS Golazo Network, ESPN Plus, and you can watch in Spanish as well on 2DN. Republic, bit of pressure here, waiting as Seba, see if this team can force a turnover. And Jack Kerr with a step goes right through to Neil Collins.
Yeah, good pressure there from Sac Republic. Good example of some good pressure. Didn't really have any outlets for Monterey Bay. They played out of bounds.
Patient by Sacramento. Even if it feels like they're in a jam, they somehow are able to get out of it. It's become really a thing of beauty to watch, especially as of late as this team is rolling. Moby Fair, 1 assist on the season. He's played a little bit further back this year. 4 goals, 2 assists, and leading the team in minutes played.
Now, when I watch the build-up play for Monterey Bay, they're just lacking a little bit of that crispness. I think they have the talent. It's just a matter of
like
having
the crisp.
Exactly right. Nice. I didn't even do that on purpose. That's even better. And just a little, I guess, sharpness might be a better word, right? Just getting the ball, playing it quick, having your options start to present itself as things start to develop, and everything feels a step slow, feels more reactive than anticipatory. And conversely, you see what it should look like when Sac Republic have the ball.
Well, interesting enough, the way that Monterey Bay is set up sort of suits well against Sacramento. I think the Republic, the one thing they've sort of found a little bit trouble with is on the counter. And when teams are really good at counter, those teams have had some success against Sacramento. But so far, tonight, Republic's been able to handle it well. Here's Galloway out of Carmel. Another homegrown product. This ball's sent in and chest back by Michelle Benitez. Good area that time. Couldn't find a partner to connect with.
Yeah, another little note, too, when you're watching Sac Republic defend, I know they have the ball at this particular moment, is that they do a nice job of, once they lose it, of not allowing a pass to go forward to break them. Right, so they make it go side to side or backwards, and that makes them very difficult to break down when Monterey Bay tried to establish.
Over the top, Gurr on the run. He's in the 18 now. Tries to send the cross in, and doing just enough is Pierce Galloway. Galloway, good story. Part of the Salinas-based U23 club for Monterey Bay, their 2 side, and had 20 appearances with the first team a season ago, and has routinely been in the starting 11 here in 2025. Michelle Benitez from the Atlas Disposal corner kick for Sacramento. Pirano awaits the short corner to draw one out. And Rodrigo Lopez doesn't want to see anything hanging from the net. Crowd stomping their feet. Almost wanted to see Lee Desmond let that one through. Cicerone was on a good run near post. And they'll do it again.
Yes, it's another Atlas Disposal corner kick.
And the whistle blows as Lopez is on the turf.
I like when games get chippy, Rob. So I'm a big fan of whatever's happening right now in the box. That's when you know it matters, that these players care, that these little details matter. We want to get an advantage. We're all over you. Roro's trying to find that second goal. Then he can go out and relax. He can save his energy for the next game against the Roots. Right? He's trying to make these little things happen. And that permeates to the rest of the team. They're really like, all right, Roro's up for it. We're up for it, right? He continues to push that standard, whether you have the ball or not. I love the nonverbal and verbal cues that he's giving to his team right now by being chippy, as it were. That was a nice diplomatic way of saying that. I love when games get chippy.
Lopez has seen it all. MLS, Liga MX, USL. Benitez curling this one in nicely. It's still not done yet. The Sacramento has it in the 6th. And it bounced out of the 18 and now all the way to Jack Gurr. I was just waiting for a toe to push it forward. Vitiello's going to send it back. He's got his defenders up there. Look at this, Freddie Kleeman in the attack. Why not? Pirano, he's got a little trouble coming. Finds Gurr in relief.
This decision.
Found Cicerone and it nearly skirts in.
But they do a nice job of recycling the play. They find another pocket of space. They can play now into the middle. But that unlocks a good shot on goal. We got another corner kick. It's got to be a record. We got to be getting close to a record for Sac Republic corner kicks in the game.
Well, I don't care how long you've played or what sport you played. You've heard play till the whistle. Sacramento does just that. They never seem to stop, even if the play might be dead. It felt like it was dead there. It wasn't. And Cicerone almost got the game second. Another corner kick. Out comes Capizzuto again. And Pirano angling in, trying to find a teammate. It's broken up. Looking for a counter is Nialati. And that's where Sacramento has found a bit of trouble dealing with the opponent.
Good positioning there, ultimately, from Jack Gurr. Then he makes a good run. And what a ball from Roro, or at least a good idea, good vision.
Seba, Pirano, Cicerone on the run. Cicerone in the penalty area, waiting for a teammate. Chips it back to Pirano. And Christian is denied. Crowd loves the effort from Freddie Kleeman.
Yeah, because it keeps the pressure on for Monterey Bay. They can't hold up the ball at all. And if they can't hold up the ball, it's going to be impossible for them to transition. I'm a neutral observer here. Well, actually, I'm wearing a Sac Republic polo, so I'm not a neutral observer. But if I was watching Monterey Bay, if a fan of Monterey Bay, I'd be really frustrated with how the team's playing and just no real answers to figure out how they're going to get out of this puzzle that ultimately Sac Republic has put in place. There's no consistency in their decision-making. They can't transition.
And not a good sign is Sebastian Herrera is on the turf. And the one thing we've seen from Seba this year is just the ability to stay healthy. And he's clutching that thigh. Not quite sure if it's a knee, but I'm sure you've dropped your knee into a couple strikers' thighs in your days.
I can't confirm or deny any rumors at this time, Rob.
Try to find some video of it. Right?
Doesn't exist. I was the nicest defender of all time.
Well, with that, let's step aside and hear from our sponsor at Smut.
SMUD's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands are taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with SMUD rebates. Together, we're changing the world. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Tower Bridge Battalion still pounding on the drums here, trying to see if this home side can find another. And with the threat of this Monterey Bay team in transition and on the counter, I don't even think a chance tonight. With a great chance to pick up 3 points at home. Just one loss here at Hart Health Park, and that was to Tulsa, a 1-0 defeat earlier in the year. It's sort of a shame those two teams played so early on this season.
I know. Given how they're both playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they face each other in the big enchilada in the playoffs. But I've really liked this performance from Sac Republic. Really professional. Hurt you in so many different ways. Execution's been excellent.
Lopez the toe touch, finding Herrera. Now it's Gurr just outside the 18, whipping this ball in. Almost another look from Rodrigo Lopez. Roro trying to flip it over the top. Pirano on the run. Gordon's able to get there. Sacramento keeping the foot on the gas pedal. It hits the flag.
I wanted another corner. I'm really disappointed.
It's about as close as you can get.
Outside of finishing a few chances, I don't know what else Sac Republic could do in every other facet of the game that they haven't already dominated. It's been that type of performance.
Timmer sails across. It was just a bit off the mark for Sebastian Herrera. Roro trying to make the inside run. And Campuzano goes down for it. It's still in play. And the whistle finally comes. Oh my, Jimmy Conrad, that nearly spelled disaster for Monterey Bay.
Yeah, I understood what Campuzano was trying to do. Didn't want to give up another corner. And the momentum made it a little bobbly, and fair play to Roro for trying to have a heads-up moment there, but ultimately the right call by the ref.
Malongo battling. He's been quiet tonight. Played with New England Revolution. The two team came here to San Diego, or excuse me, to Monterey Bay, and he is had a solid start, 4 goals on the year, but unable to get any touches tonight. Same with Ivanovic. That's because of this.
Credit to Sac Republic. Just been immense on winning those second balls, those third balls, keeping things alive.
This one takes a deflection. It will be a corner kick, but nearly a second goal as it comes off Gadiri.
It's another Atlas disposal corner kick.
And Jacker, again, you're right, has had a lot of looks on this right side.
He's got to be up there for the amount of crosses he's put in. Another good look here. He's got eyes on that back post. It's something they work on for sure, because the consistency of his movement and his crosses and the runs, excellent.
Benitez, curling ball. Monterey Bay able to get to it. Ross again. Benitez recycles. Lee Desmond tried to redirect, and now Roro. Look at this run from Benitez. Would have been special.
Let's just use that play as an example, Rob. It's one corner, and it turns into 3 different chances, 3 different types of chances. And Monterey Bay is just hoping for the best. Like, we've just got to survive this. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to make some changes here. They're going to need it, including Johnny Klein, who they just got from Charleston. That's right. He didn't have that many minutes, 1 goal, 1 assist in 560 minutes, so clearly wasn't being a player they counted on regularly, but he comes in and scores in his first game against Tulsa, so he's going to be raring to go, and he'll have some fresh legs. They need some fresh legs out there.
And Miles Lyons will join him. We'll see where the changes come. Nick Ross floating forward for Seba's got a good hold on. Now Cicerone on the run. Russell, he's cut down in the box.
Great tackle.
And good defensive play by Monterey Bay as Russell Cicerone feels like he could have a couple goals tonight. And the visitors have just found a way to slow down number 11.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take away from the impact that Russell Cicerone's had on this game. His dynamic movement off the ball, especially off of Seba up top, has been tremendous. I love his bursts and his runs, his change of speed. The guy's a proper professional, and it's only a matter of time before he gets another goal or assist.
And here comes the substitutions. Malongo will be replaced by Johnny Klein. And Sammy Gadiri is out of the match. Will come in for Miles Lyons. Will replace him. 2 assists on the year. Spent the 23 and 24 seasons with El Paso. And see if they can find a way here. With all this, they're still just down a goal here, Jimmy.
That's what's scary from a Sac Republic perspective, and must be somewhat encouraging for Monterey Bay. Like, all right, we've been under it. We're going to get some fresh legs in here. 60th minute, going to change how we're approaching the game, where we want to defend. Can we get up a little bit higher? Because they feel like the lines are collapsed on top of each other. That never helps when you're trying to transition out of that. And not only fresh legs, but fresh ideas, Rob, right? They need to figure out and have a different type of spark maybe in all lines of the field.
Timmer was right on the end line. It looks like Sacramento are going to make a substitution or two here. And Republic are back at Heart Health Park Saturday. That's the August 16th match. Energy, we're going to need it. Big time match against Oakland Roots. Another NorCal rivalry game. Roots falling earlier this evening. And Seba just has all kinds of space, almost too much of it. Cicerone continuing his run. Pirano's looking for a teammate, hesitating, gets behind.
Great
Here's
ball.
Gurr on the cross. Russell Cicerone slicing toward that near post. And just enough. Monterey Bay. Ivanovic, he's waiting for a teammate. Nialti into some space. Here comes Johnny Klein. Klein's going to look to switch this over the head of Lee Desmond. As charging for it was Adrian Revelar.
Yeah, great hold-up play there from Ivanovic. His first real action here in the second half in particular. Does a nice job of unlocking a little bit of that pressure. And that led to a good opportunity. And Johnny Klein, who just came in, has to do a little bit better. That's what you expect from a sub, right? To come in and have that quality that maybe you were lacking. So pretty disappointing opportunity to not turn into anything meaningful for Monterey Bay.
Choosing the right health plan for you and your family is simple with Western Health Advantage. Check out their affordable plans that have been keeping the community strong for more than 25 years. An hour into this game, and Republic hasn't made a change yet, but subs are off the bench, and you're likely to see a couple from Neil Collins as he discusses it with the staff. And that's an untimely turnover right here for Rodrigo Lopez. He's going to try to maybe just pick up the foul, but Monterey Bay Union advantage being played.
Good transition defending there from Sac Republic again. Not allowing the ball to go forward after they lose it in a bad spot. Roro might get a yellow for that because I did think he held up the play. But we'll have to see if the referee remembers. It doesn't always happen.
Comes to Garcia, who switched from the right side. And back to Nico Gordon. Nico Gordon out of North Texas, the MLS Next Pro team for Dallas. Freddie Kleeman trying to play this forward. Decent possession here, but now Jack Gurr needs to take it away. And more changes coming for Monterey Bay. Why not? They got to go try to get this game here, Jimmy. I mean, look at how this has gone for them. Limited chances, not a lot of looks, but if they can get some pace in there and change up the look, they might find an answer.
It's possible, but it feels like it's going to be more fortuitous than anything in terms of build-up. You're hoping for that one moment where someone can create their own magic, maybe get a combination play. As we saw against Tulsa, they scored some good goals against Tulsa. That was just a couple days ago, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. But in terms of a proper build-up where they're consistently making Sac Republic move and ask questions. Here's a good opportunity.
Rebellar, and it may have last touched by Sacramento, and it will be a corner kick from Monterey Bay.
Better for Monterey Bay. Much better.
And they will make the changes as Soberg will come in for Xavi Nialati. Anton with 4 goals, 2 assists on the season. And Wes Fonguk will come into the game
replaced by number 21 Anton Soyberg
and replace Pierce Galloway.
Number 6 Wes Fonguk. Substitution presented by Medic Ambulance.
Pierce Galloway is actually a really great story. Came from the USL League Two team, U23s from Monterey Bay. They won USL League Two a couple seasons ago. He was the captain. So I really like his game. Smart, simple, and he got brought into the team by one of my pals, Neil Diaz. So shout out to Neil.
Whistle blows, short corner. Ball chipped in. Well, miscommunication by Sacramento gives it right back to this Monterey Bay side. Played it forward, looking for something out of this, and a flag will go up as Ivanovic was just a step offside.
Good discipline there from Sac Republic and their line. That's what you see. Those are the types of moments and plays that you see when you have a back line that's played as many games as this back line has together. Just knowing when to step as a group, when to drop off, recognizing when a striker might be a little bit lazy in terms of where they're standing. And I think they did a nice job there.
Well, seriously injured? For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price for a free consultation. 2 changes for Sacramento coming on the way. Corey Bennett and Blake Willie. Seba. And Roro's just going to play it forward, and a Republic player on the turf. It's Sebastian Herrera, and I think Alex Lara and Nico Gordon have just had enough of number 9.
I would say so.
Here come the changes. Nick Ross being replaced by Blake Willie. Sort of surprised. You typically it's Rodrigo Lopez, but Rowe's going to give it a go today. And then that will be it for Sebastian Herrera. Corey Bennett, different look for Sacramento. No longer the hold-up play. Gets in behind the defense. As a defender, what does that do to you mentally, and how you have to switch and sort of how you've approached this first hour of the game?
Yeah, with regard to first the subs, I think Nick Ross is one of those players that does a lot of thankless work that maybe doesn't get the notoriety that he deserves. He's that really important connective tissue in transition, and obviously helps organize the players around him. So I want to give him a shout out.
Well, don't worry. His fellow Scotsman Adam Moffat gives him all kinds of love.
That's true. Okay, yeah. All right. And then Seba.
But Nick does a great job, yes.
The hold-up play from him tonight was fantastic, and his ability to bring other people into the attacking third, not just into the game, but into a very dangerous area of the field, is really impressive. And I think he's a nice balance. His player profile is a nice balance to Cicerone and Pirano, who give you something a little bit different.
Corey Bennett just comes into the game and already trying to win it back. And I know you're familiar with Justin Braun. He was here in 2014, very similar in what, I think fans are like, how come our striker doesn't score a lot? But Justin Braun was setting up everybody left and right. I mean, Tommy Stewart, Rodrigo Lopez, and others were able to score because of the dirty work that they did at that top position.
Yeah, I played with Justin Braun my last year in MLS, so I know he has a nice track record here. But yeah, Corey Bennett, I'm really excited to see him get out here. He's going to run off the back shoulder a little bit more than what we saw from Seba.
Ivanovic. Here's Moby Fair. A little sharper here since the substitutions have come in for Monterey Bay. Fair look to find Lions. Lions one touch, and Michelle Benitez is sent to the water park nearly.
Yeah, good defending there. Good positioning, ultimately, to make a play to nullify that attack from Monterey Bay. But you can start to see there's a little bit more urgency from the team in blue. They're trying to push the game, commit more numbers going forward. Got some fresh legs, right, so they can commit that energy. We'll see how Sac Republic deals with it.
Well, a good full-time result in the books for Sacramento. San Antonio with a 1-1 draw with Las Vegas. Missed opportunity there to find a way to hold on to a tie for second place. Danny Vitiello trying to send this. It's right in front of the Monterey Bay bench. And a foul on Christian Pirano. So in the West, it is Tulsa with 38. If this result holds, Sacramento would have 30, San Antonio 28, El Paso 27. For your top 4 in the Western Conference. It's crazy to me that we're sort of scoreboard watching, looking at the standings, and it's still early August. I mean, it's just shows how tight it's been in the West. Here comes delivery. This one's a bit dangerous, and Jacker was able to get there backpedaling. Made that look really easy, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's been doing that all night on both sides of the ball. Really impressive performance.
Misstruck here. Corey Bennett might find a gift.
Good combination play here for Monterey Bay. One of the first times I'd seen where they had maybe an 8, 9, 10 passing combination. We'll see if they can do something with it. Have some intent with this possession.
Bear set this one in. It's flicked on almost past Vitiello. And a big timely save from one of the best goalkeepers in the USL Championship. He does it again.
Yeah, good spot. Finds himself in there, and Johnny Klein with a nice cheeky flick there to keep Vitiello on his toes. But like he's been doing all month, this is why he won the USL League Player of the Month award. He made the timely save. Really well done.
Corey Bennett going right in.
I can hear that from here.
To Nico Gordon, and the train staff for both teams will come out.
I'm feeling it for him.
I don't know if Bennett was aware that Gordon was there, and those two coming together. It's going to be a bit of time for
this feels
both
like
these train
it could be pretty
staff.
serious.
And they're holding above the eye of Nico Gordon, and I think you're right, Jimmy. This is not good for both these teams here.
It looks like one could be bleeding, but as we discussed before, there's obviously, when your brain gets rattled a little bit, you have to be really thoughtful about this protocol, and it's so hard. I talked a lot of doctors into continuing to let me play. I broke my jaw in a game against the New England Revolution. Clint Dempsey actually elbowed me in the face. I couldn't talk, but somehow I talked the doctor, mumbled, I should say, to the doctor to let me keep playing for the last 20 minutes. And I was running on adrenaline at that point, and I get why they're, everybody wants to be, liked or whatever it may be, but I could see why the doctors are trying to find that middle ground. But it seems like now, as time has progressed, they're being a lot more thoughtful about, we're just taking you out. We'll ask you questions later. Just the action that we saw, the sound that we heard, how you're moving, it's just not worth it.
Well, good news here. Nico Gordon giving the thumbs up to his bench. But with that, let's pause for a moment and hear from Pacific Office Automation.
Pacific Office Automation is your one-stop shop for office technology, copiers and printers, managed IT, unified communications, and more. Visit pacificoffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Well, one more time, let's take a look at it. And this is why this one-goal advantage for Sacramento can be so dangerous, as Johnny Klein almost picks up his 3rd goal of the year.
Yeah, this is on the back end of about 10 or 12 passes in a row for Monterey Bay, and you can see that they had 3 or 4 players in the box. That might be maybe the first time I've seen all game where there was a cross from out wide and there was a real commitment from Monterey Bay to have significant numbers in the box, and it led to a very good chance, but well handled there by Danny Vitiello.
So we'll see the stop. It looks like Lewis Jamison's going to come into this match. And typically, you'd probably come in for Cicerone, but I'd imagine this might be for Corey Bennett here. And unfortunately, his home debut is going to be a short one. And what a season he had last year with Las Vegas. 15 goals in 2024. He had 6 goals in the month of June alone. And he can score in bunches, and that's the reason why he's in a Republic uniform here in 2025. Brought on just a couple of weeks ago.
And when I saw the news, I was like, Corey Bennett is going to Sacramento. That is a fantastic pickup, especially with the front three that you have in place. He just gives a different dynamic. You can maybe spot start him, right? And you can bring Seba on at a different time.
Well, and here's the other thing. It's almost like you got two players because Lewis Jamison, who's been hurt for 2 months, is also back, and you're going to see him coming off the bench. You're right. You have 5 quality attacking players that really can do something.
And it gives you, as a coach, if I'm Neil Collins, the opportunity to rotate, which is very important if you want to have success in multiple competitions, which they do, of course. And keep people fresh, which is important, which obviously falls into the rotation or under the rotation umbrella. But it gives you an opportunity to mix and match different player profiles and maybe make it opponent-based. Okay, tonight, Seba's going to be a great matchup against Monterey Bay. Cool, we're going to use him, and then once those guys get tired, we can bring Corey off the bench. And then maybe another game, we want people to get in behind a little bit more, so Corey's going to be the better answer.
Real quick, let's take a look at scores around the Western Conference. We talked about the Tulsa match earlier, a big win, and Las Vegas with a penalty is Rodriguez is able to get a second half goal, lock it up, and El Paso unable to find something against Miami, and Lexington, who's just started chugging along. We talked to their head coach, and he said, you know, we're actually playing better now. We were getting better results, but he said, we feel like we're starting to turn the corner. That's a real strong win against a team above you in the standings in Phoenix.
Yeah, some surprising results, but also not so surprising when I look at Tulsa's score in particular.
Well, and you look at this league, and, you know, a couple years ago, there was sort of a couple games. You said, okay, that should be 3-point every night now, and we talked about that even here tonight. This is not a Monterey Bay team at their top peak, but they could find a point here tonight, and I think that would go a long way to turning something around for your Sacramento. You got to find the second goal here in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is that part of the conversation where we get into game management. We're making a couple subs here for Sac Republic.
So it looks like Corey Bennett will be able to stay in. It looks like Bennett and Gordon each with some tape around the dome there, and Rodrigo Lopez going to be replaced for Lewis Jamison. Luis Felipe coming in. Of course, Roro with the go-ahead goal as of now, his second on the season. And another just strong performance by Rodrigo Lopez. And you love to see him go full 75. And now you've got Lewis Jamison, you've got Bennett, you've got Cicerone, and you got Willie underneath. This is a formidable four here to have 3 of these guys coming off the bench. And really, you look at Lou City, you look at Sacramento, these are probably 2 of the deepest benches in the championship.
Yeah, you're not going to win anything of consequence with 11 players. You need to be 16, 17, 18 deep. You need to be able to deal with injuries. And you want to have as many options as possible so you can be fluid and flexible as the ups and downs. The always ups and downs are always coming. So can you manage those? Can you keep the ups as long as possible? Can you minimize the downs? That's ultimately what Neil Collins and every manager is trying to do in USL. And yeah, I mean, to bring on these types of names off the bench to help manage the game and see out, okay, maybe if you don't find the second, that's fine. You just don't give up a goal to make it 1-1. And I think that's probably the evolution and maturation that Neil Collins and the coaching staff want to see from his team.
Well, a young Lewis Jamison, 23 years of age, team of the week, week 1. He's a couple of goals already on the season and was dealing with a hamstring issue, but he appears to be back. They're working him in to these games. And Corey Bennett, he's a fighter.
Great hold-up play there from Corey, and what a touch under pressure.
And watch these runs from Lewis Jamison. He just is able to find that right run at the right time, and he's not going to touch it like Russell Cicerone, but it's a different threat for the Republic with so many looks. Here's Russ out wide. He's got a lot of teammates, going to just whip this one hard, almost goes in. Campuzano with another one-handed save to keep it out of the net. Russell Cicerone can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 on what should likely be one of these a goal, Jimmy.
It's one of those where he's going to say he shot that, but maybe it's a cross. We call that a Schross.
Yeah, Schross.
A Schross. But some good running there, too. If he had found that near post space, Jamison found himself in a good spot to maybe get on the end of it. But another corner for Sac Republic.
But isn't that what Russell Cicerone does? He sort of gets you thinking about something else, but in his mind, he's already got something else cooking. Meanwhile, Sacramento would love to serve up something here on a corner kick. An Atlas disposal kick. Another Republic player down during a set piece. And Elvis Osmanovic is going to separate these two and say, knock it off Cicerone and Garcia. It'll be Jack Gurr. He's got the hand up. Movement coming up in the air. Almost back post by Freddie Kleeman. And for Neil Collins, who had 35 goals in his career as a defenseman, he wants to see more out of his back three. I should say on this side of the pitch.
Yeah, good opportunity there.
And was that Kleeman or was that Felipe? I couldn't tell.
It might have been Felipe.
We know Felipe can score 7 goals 2 seasons ago. More of a holding mid here as a substitute tonight. Benitez. Blake Willie. The development of this young man has been really impressive to see. 16 years of age, starts really getting some first team moments. Now at 18, he's got 2 assists on the year. I mean, he's just played like a veteran. And we talked to you a little bit about that. You know, it's sort of weird with Blake. He said, you know, I got to kind of manage his minutes only because he's kind of still learning this game. Meanwhile, I got to manage Rodrigo Lopez a little bit just because we got to keep him healthy and fully fit for the entire year.
Yeah, the best or the highest praise I can give Blake is that you don't think about him and his age first. You think about how good of a player he is.
Gordon steps right into Lewis Jamison. He knew he was in trouble. There's a Scotsman who was running downhill. But you're right. It's the quality of play, and he's on the pitch not because he's 18, but
because he can play. Right? He makes good soccer decisions on both sides of the ball, and that's what you're looking for. And the fact that he's 18 is just a bonus. But yeah, we got to look here. Is that a block or a charge? I think that's a block in NBA terms. But I love Jamison's feet. I love his intent. He's always looking to play forward.
Got a little caught up there, Jack Gers. Can they win it right back? This is the type of play Neil Collins wants to see. Even up just a goal, they want to see if they can force something else. Meanwhile, great defending again. Blake Willie called on cue. Good defending that time, getting low for it. Nico Gordon.
What we're going to see a lot from Monterey Bay now is more numbers going forward, and they're just going to start playing a lot more direct. The clock's working against them, so they can't really, for lack of a better description, dilly-dally with the ball. They got to start skipping lines, trying to win the ball higher up the field if they can't win it directly, and putting Sacramento under some pressure so they can create some good opportunities like we saw a couple minutes ago.
Well, SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from your #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your tickets to great seats. And don't miss next Saturday, Oakland Roots coming to town. It's always a battle between those two sides. And those first 6 games, back and forth. Sacramento's been a little bit better as of late. A big collision here, and it might be a booking for Michel Benitez. Interesting, just the 2nd yellow all evening.
The referee's done a good job of managing the game, not allowing emotion to get too high or low. It's got a little chippy in some corner kick situations, but overall, on the balance, I think he's been pretty solid and consistent with his decision making, which is all you want as a player, to make sure if you're calling the game one way, keep it the same the whole time. If you start going one call a different way, and then that's when you lose the players and it becomes chaos.
81 minutes between the two bookings. Served in. Good chance here for Monterey.
So this is one of those moments, and Jack Gurr's been excellent, but it's one of those moments where this is not what you want from a Sac Republic situation, because you only have a 1-goal lead. If you're giving away cheap free kicks in and around your box, you're just inviting a lot more pressure than you need. So managing the game here is going to be very important, especially with the new players that came on the field. Can they find that rhythm and help them hold on to the ball and just see this game out?
Soyberg with his hand up. It will be Soyberg. Out-swinging ball headed away, nearly back post. And it sails clear off to Republic. Another set piece now for Monterey Bay. How can Republic weather this storm?
And one of the things I think about on set pieces, especially defending set pieces, corner kicks, set pieces, free kicks, excuse me, it's not about talent, Rob. It's about a desire and a commitment to win the ball, and not just the first ball. Can you stay with your player to win the second one? Can you get it out and make sure you're clear before you start to lose maybe track of your runner?
Third corner kick for Monterey Bay. Kleeman. Vitiello were there. Now it's Lewis Jamison. Monterey Bay whipping this one in.
Good defending, great positioning.
Jared Timmer sends it away, but Monterey Bay back with it in possession.
It's Monterey Bay giving Sacramento a little bit of their own medicine, keeping something alive, but can't get anything out of it.
Vitiello will take his time. And for Sacramento, after tonight, this one sneaks through. Benitez, it's going to be a foot race. The goalkeeper able to get in there in time. He's done enough to keep them in this game. He needs his teammates to try to find an answering goal. And Campuzano has been brilliant.
And aggressive. He's very aggressive off of his line, which has helped save Monterey Bay a few times. Whether it's with the through ball or a deflected moment, he's very quick to get off his line, and I think that makes a big difference.
Take away from Luis Felipe. Now Blake Willie charging forward. Sacramento's got to settle this down a little bit, Jimmy. And it's a gift. Lewis Jamison right through. He's being held, dragged down. That's going to be probably more than a yellow, at least, maybe.
It won't be.
Free all the way. That was a clear and obvious direct path to the goal. What do you think, Jimmy?
It's going to be really tight. As a former defender, I'm always thinking through that lens, and he makes the decision to grab his shirt when there's still another player in position to potentially make a play. So he gets at him pretty early on. Yeah, Joel Garcia, he's the one that's been causing all the antics in those corner kicks. It'd be hard to give a red card there. I think yellow card's the right call, but it does feel like he took away something pretty dangerous.
They'll escape with just a yellow. Second booking against Monterey Bay tonight. Russell Cicerone, Michel Benitez. Left foot, right foot options here for Neil Collins. I think you're going Cicerone. But a little bit straight on here. They have looks.
This is a moment where when you're straight on, it's a little bit harder. Yeah, you could say you have both corners. Sometimes it's not easy to get up and down from this situation, but you could do, there could be a trick. You know, this is one you maybe do something different, or you just do that.
Cicerone with a pretty good looking ball. Campuzano again.
He read it. Good save.
21 shots, 6 saves for Campuzano tonight. Klein.
These are the moments in the game, Rob, where you kind of want, because of the success you've had of pressing higher up the field, you just think, okay, we should just continue doing that. But it's natural for a team to just drop off. And then you start absorbing more pressure than you should. And that allows Monterey Bay, in this particular instance, to move higher up the field and invites more chances. And that gets frustrating as a coach, because like, whoa, what we were doing for the first 85 minutes was great. Why are we dropping off all of a sudden?
It's the prevent defense in the NFL.
It really is.
It prevents you from winning the game.
It's a really interesting dynamic that happens in multiple sports, as you mentioned.
Moby Fair, a little bit more lively here in the second half. He's had more touches in the Republic half.
Good discipline here from Sac Republic, not to get split, right? Keep the play in and around them. Keep it on the perimeter, because if you're trying to defend and you get split, it becomes very difficult, because now they broke the lines and now you're turning around to have to defend. So when you keep it on the perimeter, you keep the game in front of you. It's really good, sound, disciplined defending here from Sac Republic.
Well, for Sacramento, they've been pretty good at home, but 5 draws, that's the most in the Western Conference. You think about 1 or 2 of those flipping to 3 points, and you're right, neck and neck with Tulsa. This is a good ball here. And just a little bit over the head of Johnny Klein.
Yeah, good defending. Now, in an effort to continue to manage the game, your goalkeeper is going to punt it, but that becomes a 50-50 situation. So can you win that next ball? And then from there, can you play and maintain possession? That's how you're going to kill off time. That's going to go home feeling good about the 3 points and walking away, managing the game in a proper fashion. Yeah, and drawing a foul helps too.
Here's substitution. A.J. Edwards comes in for Russell Cicerone, so more defensive-minded move here for Neil Collins. And Russ with a brilliant performance tonight. Excellent. Really unlucky not to get a goal or an assist in this one.
He created a lot of chances, was very active in the first half in particular. I really love his movement. Big fan of Russell Cicerone. This is a smart sub, though, overall. A.J. Edwards comes in. Going to get direct orders from the coaching staff. This is what we need you to do for the last 5 minutes. Go out there and do your job. Make it difficult for them, but make sure on the defensive side you're locked it down.
Bennett being held. What a late whistle. Got caught up there. I think everybody knew it was a foul. Corey Bennett's already walking. And here, this is more time off the clock. And with 7 minutes, though, stoppage time brought to you by Sacramento County Department of Health. A lot of time here. And so Sacramento is going to need to either find a goal or see if they can see this clock trickle away.
Yeah, 6 minutes of extra time or injury time in the first half, 7 minutes here. This is bonus coverage here.
More Jimmy Conrad here.
Who doesn't want more Jimmy Conrad? Let's be honest. Yeah, good opportunity, though, to kill some time off the clock. Ask for 10 yards, right? These are these little details of how to kill time. Hey, ref, is that 10 yards? Or, actually, this guy's going to take the free. You know, you just do these little things to kill 20, 30 seconds because it does add up in the end. And you just do whatever you can to get the results. But I really liked Corey Bennett's hold-up play. He's been excellent in that phase of it. I thought he was going to run off the back shoulder a little bit more.
Which is probably more of his style, but again.
But he's doing the job that's being asked of him. And I think that speaks to what kind of professional he is. So shout out to Corey Bennett. Excellent, excellent.
Republic putting 2 players back, Desmond and Timmer. Kleeman is up to distract the wall maybe. And a Jacker offset look, floating back corner, looking for Felipe, tried to head it on target. And the follow-up misstruck. And we got Sacramento in trouble in Birmingham. Was a last-minute look and just a misstruck ball. Here's Campazano's going to punch it away instead of grabbing it. And that'll work in the favor of Mento, who can...
You see Blake Willie making some good decisions here, putting himself in a good spot to maintain the pressure they have. He wants the ball. He's got options. Good movement here once again. Jacker's passing's been fantastic. Jameson, these are one of those situations where I know he wants to go in and prove himself, but he should probably just sit in the corner and kill another minute off, right? But I get where he's coming from. He just wants to go out there and show that he's healthy and that he can do special things, and we know that he can. But in that particular moment, just take it into the corner.
Timmer comes up and takes this one right back away, and it comes to Willie. Willie finding Felipe. Felipe with a thunderous look, and it's going to go right into the chest of Alex Lara. Putting the body on the line.
Brave defending here from Alex Lara.
No whistle. Ball moving forward. Johnny Klein couldn't get to it.
Yeah, that's the risk there where if we're not playing the ball quick enough in midfield. 4 minutes left.
Monterey Bay feeling like they've still got some hope in it, and you can see it in their own body language. Probably the best 20 minutes we've seen of them this game has come here late.
I'm surprised they haven't committed more numbers going forward. Even on that set piece, they just had Ivanovic up top, and they need someone that's got a little bit of pace. Ivanovic can hold the ball up, but you need a contrast. Who's going to make the defensive back line think, oh, wow, I got to actually drop off because they've got some speed. I haven't seen enough of that type of strategy, I would say, from Monterey Bay, or at least not consistently.
It's interesting enough is A.J. Edwards playing a little bit higher. I mean, he did play as a striker as a youth and some of his time with San Jose, but primarily a defender with Sacramento, and his lone goal coming against Las Vegas in a right back position where he started for Jacker. But like Michel Benitez, he's been asked to play in different positions and is answering the call, and a lot of credit. I mean, he's playing against some veteran players who've been in the league for several seasons. And in a critical game here in Sacramento against Monterey Bay, and another set piece for the visitors, trying to find an answer late. Lions can't control it. They're just going to send it up into the stands, and Sacramento will take that all day.
That play is pretty much a microcosm of Monterey Bay's nights. The free kick doesn't get past the first defender, right? That is just rule of thumb. If you're going to take a free kick, a corner kick, you got to get it over the first defender. Otherwise, all the runs are dead. And then when they get the ball back, they lump it into row Z. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain
ZZ or Z?
Maybe double Z. The performance from Monterey Bay. Again, in fairness, they came off a tough loss on Wednesday night against Tulsa. An emotional letdown after having a lead late and giving up a couple late goals, and then coming into a tough place against one of the hottest teams in USL and trying to get a result. It was always going to be a difficult ask.
Well, they're moving forward here. Soyberg along that right edge, continuing to make the run, trying to cross something in, and not a run on the back post. And Danny Vitiello is not going to let anybody get to it.
That's the most that Danny Vitiello has run all night. Well done, Danny. He has a full sprint.
A throw from Monterey Bay. No, I was like, did I miss something here? Okay. Throw for Sacramento.
So details of the game. How do you play out of the situation? You have a minute and a half left. You're in a not a great spot on your own field. So if you don't win it, how do you maintain possession? For Monterey Bay, how do they take advantage of it?
Jack Gurr is going to just send it up to Neil Collins.
Neil Collins still got it. He didn't even try to have a good first touch. He had a good first touch. That's how much he's got it.
Lara's going to send this deep. Talked about being more direct. Good defending by Jack Gurr, not allowing Monterey Bay to run underneath it. It'll be Timmer again. Started off the year dealing with an injury. He is back. Hold.
Excellent play by Corey Bennett. Right, you're in a tough situation. You're throwing it ball in, which is always a bit hopeful. To draw a foul there, I mean, we could argue Monterey Bay shouldn't be trying to foul there, but the fact that he did allows the game to tick, tick, tick until we get to the end, and that could be the last action here. So good play, good heads-up play by Corey Bennett. Been a super sub off the bench.
And Jordan Stewart is whistling for the officiating crew to keep their eyes on the clock here. Is Lewis Jamison. Can't get to it before it falls out of play. Ball bouncing around. Edwards. This might be it. And a tackle by Corey Bennett.
Honestly, I like that foul too. That's a Pep Guardiola special. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola teams, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. If there was a slight break, they're fouling you. They're always stopping the play, never allowing you to establish a rhythm. And yes, you give a deeper free kick here, but ultimately you should be able to manage that.
And over an entire night, mentally, it's got to just sort of destroy you at times. Campuzano, he's had a great night keeping his team into this game, but time is running out. Monterey Bay looking for an answer late in this game. And they won't find one. That'll be it in Sacramento. The Republic take the first of two on the year. They move up to 30 points on the season, their 8th victory. And Monterey Bay looking to find an answer as they have now dropped 8 of 9 in the heart of the season. And what a victory for this Sacramento team who continues to roll. And another shutout, 8th clean sheet for Danny Vitiello on the season.
Making it look easy tonight. Yeah, he didn't have to make maybe that one-handed heroic save or anything too drastic. I thought the defending was really sound in front of him. They managed all the set pieces. Maybe an awkward moment or two in the first half, but nothing on that side of the ball. I mean, they've been excellent. The best defensive team in all USL, and they demonstrated why they are again tonight. I know we talk a lot about Vitiello. We talk a lot about the back line. But ultimately, it's the whole team that needs to be applauded, including our man of the match, Roro Lopez. scored a great goal, and it ended up being the match winner.
Western Health Advantage man of the match, and Rodrigo Lopez on yet another recycled opportunity. And Lopez talking to some of the many faces he's known throughout the years. And, you know, look at this Republic team. 13 goals allowed on the season, Jimmy. It's simply spectacular. And this is why Sacramento is just hunting for the top of the West. They got a little bit of work to do to get to Tulsa, but if they keep in lockstep, they'll have a chance. Right now, they're sitting alone in second place in the Western Conference. More to come here from Sacramento as the Republic take a 1-0 victory.
SMUD's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands have joined the charge. They're taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with SMUD rebates. Together, we're creating clean power cities, while SMUD keeps our promise to deliver world-class safety, reliability, and some of the lowest rates in California. The Clean Power City movement is changing the world, one charge at a time. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
How do you build a community that thrives? By staying active, by working and playing together, and by building strong bones and bodies with food that's simple, local, and fresh. Crystal Creamery has proudly supported Central Valley athletes and athletic programs since 2012. Because when you nourish a community, the community thrives. Crystal Creamery, simple, local, fresh.
If we can bring new life into the world, why can't we bring new hope to those who need it most? If we can remove cancer, why can't we remove hunger? If we can rebuild bodies, why can't we rebuild entire communities? Better health takes more than healthcare. UC Davis Health. Believe in better.
This is like a specialty gym that I've never seen in an apartment complex before. It truly is amazing.
There's a little bit of everything. You can go upstairs, do some cardio. Downstairs, there's powerlifting stuff.
Really whatever you need in terms of weights, like barbells.
There's rooms to choose from. There's a Pilates room. They have a boxing bag. I would say it's probably the nicest gym that I've had access to.
Yeah, you make it look good. Don't let it watch yourself, huh? 'Cause you make it look good. Watch this.
Welcome back to Sacramento. Rob McAllister, Jimmy Conrad with you here. A Republic victory. 3 points gets them to 30 points on the season. And our William Jessup University final score. Let's head down to the pitch as we're joined by, in our opinion, the best goalkeeper in the league. Danny Vitiello, clean sheet number 8, my friend. Congratulations. And I know that tonight, maybe not a busy night, but you had one heck of a save that kept your team with that lead there. I guess my big question to you is, how do you sort of stay mentally engaged when it feels like the ball's been on the other side of the pitch for most of the game?
We thank you for joining us. This is here at Hardell Park to celebrate 3 points. We'll be back here next Saturday, taking on our rival Oakland. You're not going to want to miss it. SacRepublicFC.com/tickets. Drive home safe for everybody. And as always, go Republic!
I think we're having some technical difficulties. Sorry, Danny, we're not going to be able to speak to you, but congratulations. I think you can hear us. Great win. We'll get you next week when you get it. Hopefully the victory against Oakland Roots coming to town. That's Danny Vitiello. He's got 8 clean sheets. But I bet you had an incredible question.
I did. I was going to ask him how that coffee and cigarette was during the game. He had all the time in the world to hang out. Which, no, he's been fantastic all season, and it's nice to see him get his flowers.
Yeah. Been great. It's been great hanging out with you, but look at this image of the match. Rodrigo Lopez, his second goal of the season. It's our power image of the game. And again, another fantastic Republic performance. Probably should have been a few more goals. I mean, 22 shots in this one, but let's take a look at early on, and the team just sort of grabbed this early. They sort of set the tone, and you could just feel that everyone was involved, and there's almost a couple quick goals in this game.
Yeah, some good saves here right away, but really asked a lot of questions of Monterey Bay, which they should have. Monterey Bay had a game a couple days previous. They had the energy. Sac Republic could come in and prep for this one, and honestly, on paper, and here's the goal from Rodrigo Lopez, they were the team that should win this game, and that really speaks to the evolution of how this team has been playing under Neil Collins. Can you win the games that you're supposed to? And they did that tonight, and honestly, so good on both sides of the ball.
Rodrigo Lopez, 2 goals, 3 assists on the year. And then again, there's just so many opportunities for Russell Cicerone tonight. And I'll tell you what, goalkeeper came up with some massive stops against Russ, the back line. And you just felt like it was there. 6 shots saved. And you could just see it kept coming toward the end, though. Monterey Bay, this was the only threat tonight. And Johnny Klein with a really nice touch.
Yeah, but other than that, it was all Sac Republic. And if this game had been 3-0 on this one in particular, I know there were some shouts for a red card. Textbook, I'd say it was a yellow, but I could understand why people were upset.
And here's our final stats. 23 shots for Sacramento. And I think the type of match, you always want to look at, oh, hey, can you be really good defensively? Are you a team that just gets open, up and down? I tell you what, for Sacramento, they're really good in the opponent's half. They're really good in their own half. That's a great recipe for success.
Yeah, and when we look at these numbers, I mean, it also matches the eye test that we had here at the stadium. This was one-way traffic. Only one team was going to win this game. It would have been very unfair if Monterey Bay would have found their way back into it with any type of real chance. I know we saw Johnny Klein get a cheeky flick to put Danny Vitiello on his toes a little bit, but outside of that, when I watch this Sac Republic team play, Rob, it's a team that I think can make a real deep run in the playoffs, and I wouldn't want to face them. It's probably the highest praise I can put upon them.
Monterey Bay unable to find an answer in Sacramento. It's not going to get easier. They'll head to El Paso. Meanwhile, here's our Western Health Advantage upcoming schedule for Sacramento. Another big home match. Oakland Roots coming to town. And meanwhile, Oakland, they're just below the playoff line, but they're fighting for a spot. And I don't care where these two teams have been in the standings. It has been a battle over the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. I'm going to have to come back and hang out. Whether you want me here or not, I'm going to have to come back and sit down and watch this game. It's going to be a cracking affair, is a phrase I like to use. And Oakland Roots lose tonight at home against the Colorado Switchbacks, so they're going to want a little bit of redemption. And obviously, form kind of goes out the window when you're playing your biggest rival. So it should be a great match, and I have it circled on my calendar.
Well, we hope to see you back again, my friend. We had a great time with you. Jimmy Conrad, brilliant as always. It was so fun. And we're glad to see 3 points with you here in the booth as well. Adam Moffat back next week. But for the Republic and our entire crew here in Sacramento, I want to say great night here at the park. Hope to see you here at Heart Health Park 7 days from now. For our entire crew, puts in all the hard work, especially these hot ones. Thank you, everybody. And for Jimmy Conrad, I'm Rob McAllister. We'll see you next week. Oakland Roots, Sacramento Republic here at USL
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.